Hello, I'm Mantastic'c and Fantastic, and today I want to talk about the upcoming One Punch Man collab monster exchangeable card, Garou. So, this individual here is arguably one of the best dark subs possibly available because of the upcoming Blackbird, which will be released momentarily, who relies on 10 combo awakenings, and the fact that his kit is incredibly well designed to tackle MD2 and the future alt MD2 because of the 6-star rarity clause, which gives those cards significant bonus stats, and because they are a 6-star individual, they get huge amounts of stats. And due to the fact that they cost 5 black event medals or 25 rainbow event medals, every player can, in theory, at least acquire one and maybe two of them, especially if you do feel like Blackbird, if you somehow manage to get one, or you think you're going to get a Blackbird, or you just really don't have a good dark box, but you have not too many subs. Point of the matter is, it can be a good way to plug your monster box for at least one stellar sub, maybe even two, especially for alt MD2. So, what makes Garou so great? Well, if we take a look at their awakenings, they have a cloud resist, which is cool. They have huge personal damage. They have attack while below 50%, double 10 combo. That is 50 times personal damage on top of a large attack stat, and they can gain a VDP via their super awakenings. So, huge amounts of damage output, but what makes it even more exceptional is the fact that their sub-attribute is also dark, which means their sub-attribute can also deal meaningful amounts of damage. This is a big deal when you play through the current hardest content of the game because spawns have billions upon billions of health, and being able to deal maybe even 1 to 2 billion more damage may make the difference of killing a spawn in like one less turn or even outright killing it in a single turn. Point of the matter is, hard-hitting cards with a sub-attribute that can deal meaningful damage has become more valuable. So just from an Awakenings point of view and offensive prowess, they're great. They also have a very large attack stats, and we love that sort of stuff on Blackbird teams because big health means more effective health, and recovery is not as important because the amount of health you need to recover on a given turn tends not to be so high. If we take a look at their active skill, they have a 2-turn base cooldown. And with a 2-turn base cooldown, you are able to inherit anything you want over top of it with relative ease. So you need like a big delay, Fujin, haste, shield, whatever you need to have. You can have it ready at the beginning of the dungeon with relative ease. You can have it charge back up partway through the dungeon with relative ease. And the actual active skill underneath is meaningful. So you get 2 turns of no skyfalls, and then for 2 turns, water orbs are unmatchable. And then you also convert, or you just randomly generate 4 dark and 4 hard orbs. So for mono dark teams, this is great because you actually want to have more of these orbs. You can heal, you can do damage. It's always a good thing. And you might think, well, 2 turns of water unmatchable seems like a bad thing, but it's not as bad as you may think. Anytime you make something unmatchable, you actually cancel out all other unmatchable statuses. So let's say you encounter a spawn who makes hearts unmatchable for 10 turns. That's a problem. Use this active skill, now it's water unmatchable for 2 turns. The hearts are available. And the best part is, Blackbird actually converts water into hearts. So that means there is no downside to this unmatchable aspect. You're actually just converting them to hearts anyways, so you don't have to even worry about it. So there's no downside. You get orb generation, and the no skyfall effect actually will overwrite any other no skyfall buff or debuff. So let's say you encounter a spawn who has 99 turns of no skyfalls. Well, now it's only 2 turns. Life becomes much easier when you can skyfall more happiness later on. So from an Awakenings point of view, they're great. From an active skill point of view, they're great, but it's actually even more valuable in MD2 because in MD2, you do not need a Woken Bind clear. So you don't need to bring a cleric. You need to bring someone who clears unmatchable, and Garou can do exactly that. There is a no skyfall occurrence at the very end of the dungeon, so now you get rid of that, and then you have a much easier time because you can just skyfall additional orbs. They're basically well tailored for MD2, and the future alt MD2 will give 6-star rarity cards a huge stat boost. So, Garou is 6 stars. He will get a huge stat boost. So that's the reason why I said even getting 2 of them is meaningful, because lots of Blackbird teams that I've seen actually run 2 of them to leverage the fact that those subs get significantly more stats, and the fact that they're actually just good to run because they have great damage, great active skill. There's no real downside to this card. The only true downside I can really foresee for this given card is that you have to get them via black event medals, which, while technically farmable in a sense that they are given out, or at least the rainbow event medals are given out at a varying pace, you may not be able to like just get them immediately. You can't roll this card. You have to actually monster exchange. We can get event medals through like say the 8-player multiplayer dungeon. Monthly quests always give a couple of them out. Various events like say Moot Descended, you clear that in like the not 3-player version. You get some rainbow event medals if I'm not mistaken. Point of the matter is there are multiple ways you can get these, so just get on that right away. Get those monthly quests. Do those 8-player dungeons. Play that Moot Descended if you've been putting it off. Point of the matter is, it's definitely well worth picking up this card. And even though I keep talking about them in the context of Blackbird, which they are obviously great for, any dark team can still benefit from them. With that devil typing, they can function on your Yuji Mojito teams. And again, all this damage output is relevant on Yuji Mojito because when you think about it, you're going to be hitting 10 plus combos anyways, so this can make a big difference. If you are like gunning, well, the fairy title will end before this was released, unfortunately, but if it did overlap, it would be a good option if you were trying to struggle because devils are boosted. But point of the matter is, it is well worth picking up one of these cards. Picking up a second one if you have excess rainbow event medals is also meaningful. So with that being said, let me know what you think about this card down in the comments below. I feel like I'm quite surprised by the fact that Gung Ho made a farmable card so strong, but I feel like it's only became so exceptionally strong / desirable because of Alt MD2 boosting 6-star rarity. Still a great sub for Blackbird teams, but it became even better when you take into account that Alt MD2 is one of the more like harder and / desirable dungeons to possibly play potentially, and that's also what gives them more value. Regardless of all that, hopefully you all have a truly fantastic day. I wish you all the best luck in your own pad adventures, and happy puzzling.